But first at 11, what started as some kind of beef ended with bullets flying through a strip mall in Ann Arbor. Good evening and welcome to 7 News Detroit at 11. I'm Carolyn Clifford. Tonight, 3 suspects are in custody for the death of an 18-year-old.
Welcome to a courtroom showdown that starts with bullets flying through an Ann Arbor strip mall and ends with shocking revelations in front of the judge. This isn't just another headline about gun violence. It's a deep dive into how 3 young men, barely adults, ended up at the center of a deadly shootout. You'll see prosecutors pushing for million-dollar bonds, defense attorneys fighting for leniency, and a magistrate stunned at the firepower these teens carried into a neighborhood packed with schools, shops, and families. Stick with us, because the twists in this case, from illegal gun modifications to a fiery back and forth about education, employment, and responsibility, will leave you questioning how this could happen.
After the shooting near Platt and Packard, the suspects took off and crashed into a tree on Lorraine Street during a police chase. 7 News Detroit reporter Tiara Braddock spoke to a witness and has the surveillance video of how it all unfolded.
It's a very unfortunate situation. An 18-year-old lost his life. He was gunned down right here in this parking lot. Police say 25 shots were fired.
Just another sad case of gun violence.
Darius Hampton works at a barber shop on Packard Street in Ann Arbor. The shooting happened at around 1:15 on Friday in the parking lot where the barber shop is located.
We stand up at this barber shop against violence. Really hate to see a young man lose his life in such a way. Very unfortunate.
We have this surveillance video from a nearby business that shows the moment leading up to the shooting.
It just so happened that young man was in the shop to get a haircut today.
According to Ann Arbor police, the 18-year-old who's from Westland died after there was an exchange of gunfire. The suspect's vehicle was seen fleeing from the scene, and an officer who was nearby engaged in a short pursuit. The chase ended after the suspect's vehicle crashed into a tree on Platt and Lorraine. 3 male suspects were then arrested.
It's such a shell shock to the people in this neighborhood and community because situations like that don't happen over here.
Police do not believe this incident was random. Meanwhile, Darius Hampton has this message for the 18-year-old's family.
My condolences to you. I hope that, you're able to find closure. I just feel like he had more life to live.
We're told the suspects are expected to be arraigned this weekend. In Ann Arbor, Tiara Braddock, 7 News Detroit.
25 shots. Think about that for a second. This wasn't a single bad decision. This was a full-blown firefight in broad daylight, in a strip mall where kids were getting haircuts and parents were shopping. And here's the real kicker. Prosecutors allege these weren't just handguns. These weapons were illegally modified into fully automatic machine gun-style firearms. That takes planning, intention, and access to parts most people don't even know exist. So here's the question, is this a case of young men in over their heads, or a calculated hit that turned a community into a war zone? Drop your thoughts in the comments, I want to know what you think.
What is your name?
Khalil Burton.
I'll be with you in just a moment. Mr. Burton, I'm Magistrate Garwood. I'll be handling your case today. You're here today on case AAPD 25-49266. Mr. Burton, tell me your full and complete name for the record.
Khalil Burton.
Thank you. And did you have a chance to talk to the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
And you gave her your current contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
If there's any change to your address, email, or telephone number while your case is pending, you are required to notify the court and the public defender. Do you understand?
Yes.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will refer you to the local appointing authority for them to make investigation as to representation. You also have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days, a preliminary examination within 21 days, and you have the right to a trial. Do you understand your rights?
Yes.
Thank you. I am going to have counsel place their appearance on the record and then we'll proceed.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stacey Shaw, First Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, appearing on behalf of prosecution and petitioner.
Thank you.
And Assistant Public Defender Allison Mueller here on behalf of Khalil Burton.
Thank you. Counsel, would you like me to read the complaint in this matter?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Burton and I have gone over it, so we do waive formal reading.
Thank you. I'm going to update your address in the system. All right. I'm not going to go through the details of the complaint with you because you've had a chance to review that information with counsel. You'll have more time to do so as your case proceeds.
Okay.
We'll have you stand mute. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, and I'm going to schedule you for your next court date. That is going to be a probable cause conference. The next available date for that, October 9th at 9 a.m. or soon thereafter, as the case can be called. That's at the 14A1 District Court in person in front of Judge Simpson. Again, we're going to get you a notice to appear. You'll receive additional information from the public defender. The next thing we need to address in this matter is bond. And there are two parts to bond conditions. Those are things the court tells you you can and cannot do. If you violate a bond condition, you're subject to immediate arrest. The other side of bond is whether you can be released today on your own or whether you'd have to post a bond in order to be released. Before I make any decisions, I will hear from counsel. I do want you to know I heard a swear to this morning from the Ann Arbor Police Department regarding what allegedly took place on September 26th. So I did hear that information. I do have a written request from the prosecutor's office as well. So we'll hear from the prosecutor first.
Thank you, Anna. Good morning. I won't get into all of the facts again since the court just heard the swear to, and I was also present for the swear to, and I believe Ms. Moeller was present for some or all of it. We are requesting a surety bond in the amount of $1 million. We're also requesting that the defendant be precluded from possessing a firearm as a condition of pretrial release because the firearm is alleged to have been used in this incident. We're asking for all standard bond conditions, including no assaultive behavior, no stalking behavior, no firearms, ammunition, components, or weapons. Do not use or possess any device such as a 3D printer that is capable of creating and manufacturing gun components or switches, and do not violate any criminal law, no alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs. Do not leave the state of Michigan. This defendant is a co-defendant with two others that are charged with homicide. It's an ongoing investigation regarding this defendant, which may reveal further involvement in this shooting. As the court is well aware, the shooting took place in a strip mall on Packard and Platt, where the defendant worked at Little Caesars. He was in the area with a handgun carrying concealed, and he had the handgun converted from a semi.
Did you catch that? The prosecutor just asked for a $1 million cash bond. Not because Burton pulled the trigger, but because he allegedly carried one of those modified weapons to the scene. That's how seriously the court views the risk here. Even if he wasn't the shooter, just being tied to the group with that kind of weaponry is enough to put community safety at the forefront. But then his defense attorney counters with a $25,000 bond request, stressing he's only 18, still in school, and living with his mom. This is a battle of two narratives. Is Burton a dangerous threat or just a teenager who made the wrong friends?
Automatic to an automatic gun, making it like a machine gun style gun. The co-defendants had been in the Little Caesars shop just prior to the shooting and were seen on camera. It appears that this was a planned shooting and that the defendant specifically came to the location to kill the victim, who was present at the barber shop in the strip mall. The shooting was caught on video. For all of these reasons, we're asking for the bond conditions I've just described. Thank you.
Ms. Muller.
Your Honor, clearly this is a very, very serious case with a tragic outcome. And so we're very concerned. At this point, Mr. Burton is charged with serious weapons offenses, but not directly implicated or charged with the murder that took place. And so we are asking, I understand that the court may very well impose a cash bond. I would ask the court to consider a bond lower than what the state is asking for. We would ask for something, if the court would consider a surety bond around $25,000, that would allow Mr. Burton and his family to possibly be able to post that. And from that point, any conditions that the court would deem appropriate, GPS tether, of course, surrender of any and all weapons. Mr. Burton does live here in the community with his family, his mom and siblings. That's who he lives at home with. He is taking a break. He wasn't schooling, but taking a break from that at this point. As the court heard, he was employed at Little Caesars, but we would just ask for a bond that he may possibly be able to post. And again, the amount that we're asking for is of around $25,000 surety bond.
What does taking a break from schooling mean? Did you graduate from high school?
I'm still currently at Wade.
How far did you get?
I'm in 12th grade.
How many credits do you need how many credits are left for you to graduate?
I think 7. Maybe if I'm not, yeah.
And why are you taking a break?
Because I'm in here.
Well, now you're in there.
Mhm.
So were you enrolled this semester?
Yeah,
Okay. And were you scheduled to graduate in May? Is
yeah,
that the plan?
yeah,
And then you're also working at Little Caesars?
yeah.
How many hours a week are you working?
About 19
And how long have you been there?
since June.
Okay. So that was sort of your summer job. And then did your hours shift when you went back to school?
No.
So have you gone to class this fall?
Yeah,
Okay. And what school?
yeah. Wave.
Wade, is that what you're saying?
Wave. It's in an urgent care building downtown Ypsilanti.
It's WAVE, Your Honor. WAVE.
Oh, Wade.
Yes.
Gotcha. Sorry. Okay. So here's the concern of the court. There is a true tragedy that happened here. On a really, you work there, you know, it's a really busy intersection. During the middle of the day, somebody was gunned down. And the weapons that were used were guns that had been converted so they could be automatic weapons. And you were allegedly found with that same style weapon on your person. You just turned 18, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I cannot understand why there are so many young people out and about with guns. And then add to that this layer that there is a shootout at a busy intersection at a strip mall. There's a grocery store there, there's a pizza place, there's a restaurant, there's a gas station, there's a barber shop. There are all of these things that are right there. And then as this tragedy continued on, there's someone who's dying right there. And then a car drives off and it goes right and it crashes just steps from an elementary school and a middle school. I mean, this is not something that happened in an isolated area. And that's of sizable concern to the court. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set your bond conditions for you. These are not in the order of importance, just the order listed on.
This is where the judge lays it bare. I cannot understand why so many young people are out and about with guns. You can feel her frustration. She's not just looking at Burton as a defendant, she's looking at the bigger picture of an 18-year-old with a gun modified to spray bullets like a machine gun, standing steps away from schools and family businesses. Notice how she ties the tragedy back to community safety, not just who died, but who could have. That's why she slams down a $250,000 cash-only bond. It's not just punishment, it's a warning. What do you think? Should youth ever factor into bond decisions, or should the weapon alone decide the outcome?
The form I'm going to read from, you're going to get a copy of this. You're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, any illegal drugs, or any marijuana. You are not to purchase or possess any firearms, any dangerous weapons, any gun components, any special components that can be used to convert any kind of weapon into a different style of weapon. Additionally, I don't want you to have anything that could be weapon that could be printed on a 3D printer, nothing that's manufactured. I don't even want you having a 3D printer. I don't want you around anybody who has any of those items either. You're not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. You're not to leave the state without prior permission of the court. You are to have no contact with any family members of Lamar Thomas or any co-defendants related to this particular incident. That will include Mr. Jones, and that will include the juvenile whose initials are OS. Do you work with any of those people?
No.
You're not to violate any criminal law. You're not to go to the home, any temporary residence, work, school, or house of worship of any of the family members of Lamar Thomas or any of your co-defendants related to this incident. Again, if there's any change to your address, email, or telephone number, you're required to notify the court all of your conditions exist, whether you're in custody or out of custody. If you're able to post your bond, you're going to have a GPS tether so we know where you are. That'll be tracking to keep track of where you are and what is happening. Do you have a valid driver's license?
No, I have a permit. I don't have a valid driver's license.
If you're able to post your bond, I want you in school.
Okay.
You're going to end up nowhere real fast if you don't get that, if you don't graduate.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's kind of unclear to me why you need to be going to class. You need to be doing that. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to set a cash bond. It's going to, in this case, we have quite a difference in what's been requested. The prosecutor's office has requested $1 million in this matter, and your attorney has asked $25,000. Because of the nature of the charges, the weapons charges, your age, somebody having a concealed weapon is of sizable concern to the court. But then when we add that you had this device to convert the weapon to an automatic weapon, that is beyond scary to the court and a sizable concern as far as safety is concerned. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do $250,000 cash or surety, no 10% privilege. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have questions for me?
No, ma'am. Is it possible I could talk to my attorney real fast, or?
They'll be in touch with you.
Okay.
Do we want to quickly talk to her?
It's fine.
How long do you need to talk to her?
Just real fast.
All right, well, quick, do that in a breakout room.
Okay.
Thank you.
Are you Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I'm Magistrate Garwood. I'm going to be handling your case today. You're here today on AAPD 25-49266. Tell me your full and complete name for the record.
Jamal Khalid O'Neal Jones.
Did you have a chance to talk to the public defender?
Yes, ma'am.
And when you spoke with her, did you give her your current contact information?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, you have an open case in another court. On that case, you have an address listed on I-94.
Yeah, I just moved into that May 16th.
Okay, so that's the current address.
But I'll probably go back to my granny's.
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney. If you can't afford an attorney, the court will refer you to the local appointing authority for them to make investigation as to representation. You have the right to a probable cause conference within 14 days, a preliminary examination within 21 days, and the right to a trial. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. We'll proceed with appearances by counsel.
Good morning, Your Honor. Stacey Shaw, First Assistant Prosecuting Attorney, appearing on behalf of the prosecution and petitioner.
Thank you.
And good morning. Allison Miller, Assistant Public Defender, here on behalf of Jamal Jones.
Thank you. Counsel, would you like me to read the complaint?
No, Your Honor. Mr. Jones and I have gone over the complaint and the charges, and we do a formal reading.
Thank you. One moment. Mr. Jones, I'm not going to go through the details of the complaint with you. 7 counts. You've had a chance to review that information with counsel.
Yes, ma'am.
You'll certainly have more time to do so as your case proceeds. Well, if you stand mute and I'll enter a plea of not guilty on your behalf, I'm going to schedule this matter for a probable cause conference October 9th at 9 a.m. That'll be at 14A1 District Court in front of Judge Simpson in person. We'll get you a notice to appear. You're going to receive additional information from the public defender. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. All right. The next thing we need to address is bond. I'm going to hear from counsel. We'll start with the people. I do want you to know I did hear a swear to this morning from the Ann Arbor Police Department regarding what allegedly took place on the day in question. Counsel?
Thank you. Thank you, Honor. I will not go into all of the facts that Detective McDonough placed on the record during the swear to, but I will highlight a few of them in my recommendation here for bond. Given the nature of the charges, most significantly that being the open murder, we are requesting a denial of any pretrial release at this case. At this time, as the court is aware, the defendant is charged with homicide. He and the co-defendant OS were both carrying handguns that were made fully automatic via Glock switches. They appeared in front of a strip mall. The victim was there at the barbershop. They began shooting the victim when he came out. It appears this was planned, and the defendants knew where the victim would be and went there intentionally to kill him. And the victim unfortunately died from the gunshot wound. Both of the defendants fled with their weapons in a red Chevrolet. Detective John Gilby pursued them until the defendants crashed into a tree. He pinned in the defendant vehicle with his patrol vehicle. The defendants then fled on foot. Jamal was later detained by another officer. Your Honor, clearly all of these defendants represent a threat to community safety. They had no concerns about carrying and using what were essentially machine guns at the time in the middle of the day in a location open to several people and in the area of 2 schools. The schools were on lockdown for several hours as a result of this incident. This is already a horrible situation which could have been made much worse had not the law enforcement effectively intervened quickly and efficiently. It's also extremely disturbing that this defendant is very young, along with his co-defendants, and were able to obtain firearms as well as make or obtain components to make them from a semi-automatic to an automatic nature. All of their actions indicate extremely poor judgment, as well as a disregard for life and community property. The only way to keep them safe at this time is to keep the community safe, is to deny pretrial release. If the court is not willing to grant the denial of pretrial release, we are requesting a very high cash bond in the amount of $5 million, along with all the other standard bond conditions, including that the defendant have no contact with the victim's family or other co-defendants, that being the Khalil Burton or OS, that he not go to any of those locations where the victim's family or the co-defendants may reside, go to school, work, or worship, that they not be permitted to return to the location of this incident, the area of Platt and Packard, the strip mall there that contains the Little Caesars, a barbershop, and many other businesses. That he also be confined to home with a GPS tether, that he not permitted to have any weapons of any kind or any components that can be used to make or manufacture weapons or any gun components. And when I say used to make or manufacture, he not also be needing to possess any type of 3D printer. We would ask that then the other standard bond conditions of no assaultive, threatening, intimidating, harassing behavior, not leave the state, not violating criminal laws also be put in place, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Muller.
Thank you, Your Honor. Again, just with the awareness of the seriousness of this case and the outcome, and I've talked with Mr. Jones about this, I don't think it's appropriate to request much in the way of bond right now, other than I would ask the court to consider rather than bond denied, a very high cash bond. And Mr. Jones also understands that will be set very, very high, and he's aware of that.
And there you have it. For Burton, the court set a $250,000 cash bond with strict conditions, including no firearms, no drugs, and mandatory school attendance if released. For Jones, accused of open murder, prosecutors are demanding no release at all, or a staggering $5 million bond if the court allows it. 2 teenagers, caught up in a deadly strip mall shootout, now facing the full weight of the justice system. This case raises tough questions. How did these kids get their hands on such weapons? And what's the court's role in protecting the community while balancing fairness to young defendants? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
Your Honor, I think nothing further. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a pending case, a pending weapons case, don't you?
Say that one more time, ma'am. I'm sorry.
You have a pending case.
I'm on probation for one.
Yeah. Weapons charge, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm guessing that will catch up with you very quickly. And this will be a probation violation that you'll have to take care of. I'm going to set conditions for you. They are as follows. You're not to use, purchase, or possess any alcohol, any illegal drugs, or any marijuana. You're not allowed to leave the state without prior permission of the court. You are not to assault, terrorize, frighten, intimidate, threaten, harass, molest, or stalk anyone. You are to have no contact with any family members of Lamar Thomas or any co-defendants related to this incident. You are not to purchase or possess any firearms, any dangerous weapons, any gun components, anything that can be fashioned into a weapon. You're not to be with anyone who has any of those items. Additionally, you are not to have any access to any 3D printers where you could make any of those items. I don't want you going to any home, any place of employment, any place of education, any house of worship, or any temporary residence of any family members of Lamar Thompson or any co-defendants related to this incident. All of your conditions exist whether you're in custody or out of custody. They remain in full force and effect until changed by the court. You're not to violate any criminal law. Regarding bond, this entire situation is just horrifying to the court. We have what appears to be a planned event in a very public location, brazenly in the middle of the day, that the event continued on to right next to an elementary school and a middle school, that caused all of those students to be put on lockdown. I can't imagine, they're told this is not a drill. So think about little kindergartners hearing that and then their parents finding out that information. This is extremely concerning and disturbing because of your age and the other people involved, their ages as well. It's my understanding that a great deal of this was caught on camera, so caught on video. And again, this happened at a very busy intersection with a grocery store, a barber shop, a pizza place, another restaurant or two are located right there. There's a gas station right there. All sorts of things happening at that very busy intersection. All sorts of people around, and we have automatic gunfire. And then the continued activity of fleeing and resisting and obstructing police officers. The court, from my perspective, I have no choice but to deny bond. I find you to be a serious risk to the community at large. And yeah, I think I said this is horrifying to me, and I stand by that. All those conditions I've given you, they will remain in full force and effect until changed by the court. We've given you the next available date that we have. Again, that's October 9th at 9 a.m. to see Judge Simpson. What questions do you have for me, sir? I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
No questions, man.
Ms. Mueller. Oh, did you have something?
No, I was just going to actually speak to the public defender before I left.
Sure, we'll put you in a breakout room with her. Ms. Shaw, anything further?
I have nothing further from the people. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, if you want to stay for a minute while we let them talk in case Ms. Mueller comes
Certainly.
back and has anything further. We'll get you guys into a breakout room. All right, Ms. Mueller, anything further?
No, Your Honor, nothing further.
All right, sir, do you have any more questions for me?
No, ma'am.
Okay, then you are all set. You can stand up and go to the door, and we'll have all of your paperwork for you shortly. Thank you.
Okay.